हेलो हेलो वेलकम बैक गाइस। और आज हम लोग फिर से स्टैनली पैरेबल का कंटिन्यू कर रहे हैं, जो कि मैंने अभी रिसेंटली शुरू किया था गेम। तो वी आर गोइंग टू फाइंड आउट डिफरेंट एंडिंग्स इसमें। दैट वाज द एंड, राइट? व्हाई एम आई बैक हियर?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
ऑलराइट, लेट्स डू दिस वन मोर टाइम। लेट्स सी कि भाई ये अब करना क्या है, वो
When
देखते हैं।
Stanley came to a set of two open doors, incredibly wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Tried this. अच्छा, I guess that is the ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
और मतलब यही एंडिंग है ना, इसके
When
अलावा तो
Stanley
मेरे को और
came
कुछ
to a
लग नहीं
set
रहा
of two
कर
open
सकते हैं।
doors, he entered the door on his left.
लेफ्ट साइड भी हम लोग गए थे, पर कुछ था नहीं।
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, we are back to the original office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
भाई न्यू एज म्यूजिक चला दिया भाई सबने। कह रहा इतनी क्या जल्दी है भाई, इतनी क्या जल्दी? चल भाई, चल जा।
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I don't see any other way। एक ही जगह है यहाँ पे, नीचे ही जा सकते हैं, ऊपर नहीं जा सकते।
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
लॉल।
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
We can meet our
At
violent
this point,
death.
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Who would not, भाई? Who would not? Obviously. एक मिनट।
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
All right, farewell.
Farewell, Stanley. cried the narrator,
Ooh!
as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
नरेटर चेंज हो गया भाई, भाई नरेटर चेंज हो गया, भैंस की टांग।
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
ओ भाई, भाई दिस इज फिनोमिनल भाई, मतलब ये फर्स्ट टाइम मैं देख रहा हूँ, मतलब भाई दिस इज टू गुड भाई, दिस इज जस्ट टू गुड।